Hey guys, and welcome to yet another kit review on my channel. I promised you guys that I would be looking into this box, and here we are, finally. I have the opportunity to take a closer look at this 2020 release by Border Models. It's BT005, the Panzer IV Ausf H early or mid-production. You have a 2-in-1 option to either build an early or a mid-production. This variant of the kit, and as far as I know all of them, include 4 figures from Jason Studio. And this apparently, the one on the box art, is a Battle of Caen 12th SS Panzer Division. This kit contains PE parts, 14 marking options, side skirt armor I think from aluminum sheet, a metal gun barrel, a scraper for Zimmerit or a scraper for Zimmerit, includes buckets, jerry cans, and T-34 tracks as mountings. 2 periods of length and length style tracks included, easy to assemble and can be mixed. Contains 3 tank crews and 1 infantryman, made with new 3D technology and sharp details. At least that's what the box tells us. This box, for a Border Models box, is quite full and quite sturdy. I think it's a bit bigger than the normal size they have. And as you can see here, well, let me flip this over. The 14 different marking options. And from what I can see, it's quite the diverse front and like area of detachment or deployment for these. So quite the interesting overview you can, or like choice you have. Of course, the color profiles are made by Ammo of MiG. Here we have the same, and then we have some cat drawings of the tank, the differences between the early and mid production one, and again the 4 crewmen. As you can see, the box is so full that it won't stay properly closed, and if you feel here, it's already underneath. So let me lift the lid, and then you can see plastic bags shining at you. And as you can see, this is stacked with plastic bags, and we'll start with this one, which contains our instructions as well as some miscellaneous bits and bobs that we are going to focus on first. So let's open this little bag here and see what is inside. First off, we have the side skirts, and I thought they would be similarly as the Dragon ones made from aluminum, but they are actually photo etched. These are photo etched side skirts, and I think they are a bit thinner than the aluminum ones you get with Dragon. And you can already see that they are kind of bent, which is not the best thing, I guess. But yeah, I think you can work with them. It's not a problem. So let me put them top here. Then we have another photo etch fret. This one contains some interesting bits and bobs. Let me zoom in for you guys so you can see this. We have ammunition bells for an MG34 or 42, depending. We have some parts for the air intake covers. We have parts for the spare track mount. We have the bucket handles. We have some chains, and we have the target finder for the machine gun. Whoops, there we go. The scope for the machine gun that goes on top of the turret. We have the Zimmerit scraper. This is actually made from aluminum, and it's quite sturdy. And you have 3 different tools. This one has a wider wider shape, and we have narrow shapes here and here. So I think this one you use first, and then you use these to then kind of add the smaller shapes to your Zimmerit surface. And a metal gun barrel. The last border models kit I built came with a metal gun barrel that was too short, so I'm not sure if this one has the actual and proper length. So if you know, leave a comment in the comment section. But this, I'm not sure. I'll have to check. We have two sheets of decals. Zoom out a bit again so we can get them all in shot. There we go. They look nice. Nothing has been removed due to German law, and then we have one additional small sheet of decals for the 500 over here for the 2nd Panzer Regiment 35. It's actually quite legible, which is nice. So yeah, that's the decal sheets. Let's move out even more. We have the instructions with the nice box art on top, and then we have a correction sheet here, which is sadly printed rather badly. You can see this is very hard to identify, especially over here. Is this a D or is this a C? I don't know. I'll have to check the proper instructions to see what the mess up is, but I haven't actually looked inside here. So let's do this together. We start out with the sprue map over here. Then we have some write-up on the history of the Panzer IV. Some nice pictures. I really like them. I think this is a nice touch that Border gives us. They always have this. Some pictures of the vehicle that you're about to build. And some write-up. This is in English, and I think this is Chinese, Mandarin. And then we're straight into the build. And as always with the border model kits, you do not actually start with the running gear, but you start with some parts in the hull. And I think this is the same Panzer IV hull that they provide you with all of their Panzer IV kits. You just need to make some changes, like drilling holes and filling holes. So it's a bit different, but not that much. So I think it's still an easy enough build. And here you then have to distinguish and decide if you want to build the early type or the middle type with regards to the return rollers, the rope wheels, the idler, and the sprocket, because they are a little bit different. So, and I really like the fact that they always tell you here you have to make a decision which one you want to build. It's like here, it's always either marked in red or it's with one of these question marks to highlight. And here it says mid type for this kind of radio operator's hatch, and the rest I think then is the early type. And again, what they said on their box, they have two different kinds of tracks, which is also interesting. I think there are a couple of experts out there who actually know what the difference between these tracks is, but from looking at the pictures, I think one has hollow guide teeth and the other has solid guide teeth. So that might be the main difference. Here we are building up the gun. Like I said, I have to check whether or not the metal barrel is actually properly sized for this, or if it's too short like it was on their F2. And then we complete the build and have the instruction for the 4 figures. It says Panzer IV Resin Commander. As far as I'm concerned, there's no Resin Commander in this kit. it is a plastic kit just like the 3 other figures. And if you compare the posture, these are the same figures over here, but it's not a resin figure. Alright, let's take a closer look at these. These are the color profiles. We start out with an early H, 4th Armored Division, 35th Armored Regiment. It doesn't tell us where it was used. Over here we have another early H from Koveli, Ukraine, 4th Armored Division, 35th Armored Regiment. I really like the detailed color profiles of these. They are really good. Yes, Make does a good job making them. Here we have another early 26th Panzer Regiment, July 44 Italian Front. Here we have another one that doesn't tell us where it was used, but you can see actual Zimmerit on it. And there are different types of Zimmerit on these vehicles according to the pictures. Here we have another early Leibstandarte Armored Division. Here we have 4th Armored Division, 35th Armored Regiment, a mid-production H with some nice winter camo. That looks really nice, and you can see the nice Zim on there. 29th Panzer Regiment, 12th Panzer Division, 2nd Battalion, another H, mid-production, and just another mid, North Belgium, 12th SS Panzer Division, spring 1944. As you can see, there are quite a lot of color profiles. Another mid, Hungary, 1944, 130th Panzer Lehr Division, 5th Battalion. Another mid-production, Panzer Lehr Division, July 1944, Normandy. It's actually interesting with the very interesting and unusual marking options. That's something you don't see that often. 3rd Panzer Division, summer 1944, somewhere on the Eastern Front in South Ukraine. Another mid, and another mid. This is the Box Art 1 Normandy Caen, 1944, 12th SS. And even more, look at this, Jesus Christ. Another mid, 12th SS, 12th Armored Regiment, Normandy Caen. Oh, this is the one with Paula and Wilma. Wilma on the turret hatch, and Wilma and Paula on the visor for the driver. This was represented in a Dragon kit, and I built this. So that's interesting. And we have a mid-H with side armor, but no further information as to where it was used. And then on the back we have a nice drawing, like technical drawing of the Panzer IV H. So very interesting instruction booklet. I really have to check on what's messed up here. At some point I will be building this, and then I will be doing an after build review, and I will tell you what exactly you have to keep in mind. But now I don't have the time or the energy to do this, but I guess you can find on the internet what the actual mess up is here. But I really like the quality of the instruction booklet. This is really nice. The fact that they printed it in color, have a nice box art pic on the front page here. I really love the colored painting instructions, painting guide. Apparently they are in order, that they start out with the earlies and then come the mids. So if you want to build an early, look for the ones that are in the front of the instruction sheet, and if you want to build a late or a mid, look at the ones in the back. And with that, let's take a look at the plastic, shall we? Move this out of the way. And we'll start with the big plastic parts and start out with this, the turret. It's a one-piece turret. Sadly, it has no texture whatsoever. There's no texture on here. So if you want this to have texture, you will have to add some texture yourself. This is a shame, because I think adding texture to this would really put this over the top. This is basically plain. There's some nice details, nice weld seams here. The bolt detail looks really good, really sharp. Like I said, the only thing that bothers me is the fact that this is flat as a children's ass. There's no texture whatsoever. And of course, we have the hull tub, and like I said, this is the same hull tub that you get with all of the other models, Panzer IVs. I really love the resealable bags on these border model kits, and I've said that in previous reviews that I've done of their kits. I really love the fact that you can reseal them, because they come with the sticky closable seal. Again, no texture whatsoever. It has absolutely no texture. This is plain plastic. This is the one gripe I have with border model, that their kits do not have any kind of texture on their armor plates. And yes, German steel was well manufactured and well cast, but it still would have had texture on it. And this has none. And even if it was like not cast but rolled steel, it would still have had some texture, and this does not. So that's the only gripe I have with this. Other than that, I think the level of detail and the already molded on detail looks good. Next up, we have a sprue, and like I said, resealable bags. And I did not go through all of the bags before this video to take them all out of the bags. I'm sorry. You will have to deal with the noise of me opening bags, but at least that's not the worst. And here's the thing that I don't understand. This actually does have texture. Why is there texture on here, but there's none on the turret and on the hull? I don't understand this. This doesn't have texture again. This doesn't have texture either, but this has. Texture? No texture. I don't understand this. Why are you not able to put texture on all of your parts, border? I don't get this. Other than that, once again, I think the sprue is nicely organized. The parts are where they need to be. There are not too many sprue gates, not too many points you have to clean up. I really don't like this, but it has to be there, I guess, in order to keep this flat while they mold it and not to start sagging. But other than the fact that they are kind of random with their texture, I really like the quality even of this sprue. So, next sprue, I guess. I guess we will have a common theme all throughout this video, which basically will be, why is there texture? Why is there no texture here? So, next up, this bag contains 2 sprues, and I really love the fact that they don't overload their sprue bags. It's always 1, maybe 2 or 3 sprues in a bag, but it's not like Revell where you get all of the sprues in one bag. Or Tamiya sometimes do this as well. There's some like minute flash there, but again, no texture. But the diamond plating here, the anti-slip texture on the fenders, perfectly rendered and perfectly molded. So they are capable of molding texture on their stuff, they just decide not to do it. These armored doors for the turret, they are, once again, as smooth, I don't know, as smooth as, what is smooth? I don't know. As smooth as breasts, I don't know. It's just smooth as hell. So, yeah, I don't understand this. They should be textured. They're cast steel. It should be textured. Okay, now the insanity is getting even worse. This part again is textured. This is not. This is not. This isn't either. I really don't understand this. Am I too stupid to understand this, or is it just that they, I don't know. It's the same material. Yeah? It's the same material that was used on the tank. Like, this was made out of the same material than this was and then this was on the tank. This is all armor plates. They varied in thickness, but they were made the same. The plastic, yeah, like I said, there are a couple of issues with flash here and there, but overall, not too bad. I'm just befuddled right now. There are a couple of very, very... Oh, what the... Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to... Oh my goodness, I need to zoom in. I think they tried their hand on wood grain, and I think they went a bit over the top here. Oh, okay. I think their wood grain is a bit, yeah, OTT. Yeah. Yeah, that looks odd, to say the least, at least to me. I think their wood grain went a bit over the top. And next up we have rope wheels and tracks and sprockets. So these are the tracks with the hollowed guide teeth, and they are link in length. They already come with pre-molded sag, as you can see with this one. That's pre-molded sag. There are a couple of ejector pin marks on the inside that you have to clean up. Not just on the single link ones, but on all of them. So that's a shame. But overall, I think that they are nice tracks to build. The only problem I have with these is you cannot build them, put them on the model, and then take them back up off the model. So that's the only problem. So I think this is the early track set with the hollow guide teeth. These are identical spurs, two of them. G and H. Yeah, they are just identical. G is the one with the wheels, H is the one with the tracks. Two of these. Then you get two of these spurs right here. These are the ones that contain the bogies. Right here. And even more rope wheels. Idler wheels. The bucket, the T34 tracks, and jerry cans and miscellaneous parts, like the hooks that are mounted outside the turret, for example, to lift the turret up with a crane, the door frame for the turret hatches, idler tensioning mechanism in the back of the tank, those sorts of things. And of course, the beloved bolts that you have to cut off to glue them on the bottom of your hull. I've never done this, I have to be honest with you. I've never done this. I could never be bothered. I don't know. I'm too lazy, I guess. Alright. Here is the next sprue double, this time for the mid version, with the tracks and rope wheels for the mid version. And yes, difference again, we have now solid guide teeth. We have a different kind of, this is the cast idler, not the welded idler. And this has actual nice cast texture on it, just like the housing for the sprocket. So they can do it. They just decide not to do it. It really befuddles me. I have no clue. I have no clue why they would do this. And here we have the mounts for the side skirts as well, that go on the inside of the side skirts, the armor plates. Two of these. Don't worry, we've almost gotten to the end here. Only a couple more sprues and a couple more backs to open. Alright, here we have parts for the additional armor plating that goes around the turret. Here, here, and here. We have parts for the gun assembly. Even more idler tensioning housing with some nice serial number casting on there, and it's actually legible. You can see the numbers. And again, some nice cast texture. Is it just me? Or am I don't know. I think I'm going crazy here. I don't know. It's just, it befuddles me. Maybe I'm too stupid to understand, but it just befuddles me. Why they can do it on some parts and then won't do it on others. And yes, I know that not all parts should have it, but the hull should, and the turret should have some texture. It doesn't, but yeah, okay. We have exhaust. We have the mud flaps. We have tools, a ton of tools without tool clamps. No, there are no tool clamps on these. Fire extinguisher. Some parts actually do have tool clamps. The only gripe I have with this sprue is there's a lot of very, very large seam lines. For example, here on the ball mount for the machine gun, this is a very heavy seam line. On this pin that goes in the back of the tank, there's a lot. And here we have a barrel cleaning rod with no wood grain on it, and that looks so much better, I have to say. The one with the wood grain was just weird to me. Just looked so out of scale. It was so overdone. And then, last but not least, we have parts for the turret assembly. We have the turret ring, we have the cupola, a plastic gun barrel with, again, a very, very prominent seam line, breech block, recoil mechanism, parts for the turret bin, muzzle brake, turret machine gun, empty turret machine gun housing if you want to have the machine gun on top of the turret and not in the turret. And then we have two sprues for the tank left. This is, I don't know why you could not have this on one of the other sprues, but this is a maintenance access point for the back of the engine tag, as well as this, I think, is the fuel filler cap. Okay. And then we have one final sprue with regards to the tank. We have the turret bin as one part, and we have the spare roll wheel rack that goes on the left fender, on the left hand side of the tank. So these are the plastic bits and bobs for the tank. But like I said, and like I showed you guys, we have a set of figures that comes with this, and I want to show them to you right now. So let me get them out of here. Again, resealable bag, always a nice touch. Let's start with this sprue, which actually has two figures on it. We have the infantry guy that can be modeled as sitting on the back of the tank. And we have the tank commander. And like I said, this is not, no, actually it's not the commander. I think this is the gunner. Yes, it's the gunner. And this is not resin at all. This is plastic. This is nothing but plastic. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see. This is nothing but plastic. Here we have a nice machine gun MG42 with a hollow muzzle brake. That's nice. Nice touch. A winter camouflaged helmet here with a camouflage coating on. Different kinds of gun housings here, like not housings, holsters for the guns. The headphones have a very, very, very prominent seam line, so that's not a nice touch. Overall, the figures look okay, but the detail looks a little bit soft. Here we have two more figures. this looks like the commander. He has actually got an iron cross on his chest, but this iron cross looks very, very soft, and the facial, the details on the faces are what bothers me the most. They look very, very soft, and here you can see the iron cross right there. Look at how soft this is molded. You get them for free, and I like the fact that they are 3 crew members, and you get the infantry guy that can then sit in the back of the tank. I really love that. Or I like that. I don't love it. I like it. That you have this added bonus within this kit, because yeah, I really love building. I like building these Panzer IVs with mounted infantry in the back of the tank. So let's put everything away and come up with a final verdict. So, final verdict on this. I think some of the parts in this kit look great. I love the fact that you get 2 sets of tracks, that you actually are able to build 2 different types of Panzer IV, a mid and an early. In today's technical world, I don't know why they couldn't have pre-molded on Zim. Other manufacturers can do it, not just Dragon. Others do it as well. I don't know. I guess there will be an aftermarket set to add to this. Maybe from ATAC. I do like the fact that they provide you with the tool to make it, but I'm not a big fan of making Zim from putty. I always feel like it's out of scale when it comes to thickness. So I would have really loved for them to have it pre-molded on. It isn't. No big deal, but yeah. We are living in a world where this kind of is, well, customary that they come with pre-molded on Zim. This kit sells for anywhere between 40 and 50 euros. So with regards to what you get in an aftermarket, like a gun barrel, a metal gun barrel, some photo etch, it's perfectly fine. It's better priced than Dragon kits, I think. I feel like the plastic quality is a little worse than in Dragon kits, especially when you consider the fact of the missing texture. And like I said, I think this is the theme of this video. Why is there texture on some parts, and actually nice looking, really, really nice texture? And why is there absolutely nothing on other parts? Where I feel like, just add a little bit of texture there. Just rough up the surface. Make it rough, but don't make it smooth. Yeah, that's the big downside to this. Other than that, I think we will be looking at an 8 out of 10. Some of the plastic is weird with mold lines. Nothing that you can't fix, but some parts have mold lines in places where it's going to be really hard to clean them up. 8 out of 10, I think, would have been an easy grade for this. But because of the texture mess, I think we're down in the 6 out of 10 range. Because you will have to use Mr. Surfacer to texture this up. Otherwise, it will look like a toy. This needs surface texture. These surfaces on the turret actually do have texture, surface texture. The figures are a nice add. Yeah, they don't cost you extra. You don't have to buy figures to add. You have the radio operator. The driver, I think, no, I don't, yeah, the driver and the commander. Although I don't know which of the 3 is supposed to be the driver. You have to look in the instructions. But I'm a bit disappointed with regards to the plastic. And I think this is a theme that I picked up with the last Border Models kit I looked at. And I was really disappointed with the plastic quality back then. And they already had no surface texture. And I remembered back to the first bottom model Panzer IV I built, and I was really happy with that because it had texture. The plastic was good. So I don't know why they started slacking off with regards to that, but I feel like they have. I feel like they have. And one more thing. I pre-ordered this kit in June. And it was supposed to release in August. And it was supposed to be here in August. And then of course the pandemic hit. And it first was said, okay, yeah, 1 month delay. So I was expecting September. I was like, yeah, cool, it's going to be here around my birthday. It didn't. It arrived in December. So I don't know what the communications was there, but I felt like communications could have been a bit better. I don't know if this is down to border models or if it's down to the shop that I bought it from. But I think, yeah, we're all going through tough times, and border models is too, so I don't hold a gripe for that. But yeah, I was waiting on this for a long, long time. Otherwise, you would have had a review. I'm losing my voice right now. Otherwise, you would have had a review from me of this kit earlier. But yeah, here we are. I hope you guys now know a bit more about this kit. I can recommend you buy it if you want to add texture to surfaces and go the extra mile. And of course, here's the thing. With all the surfaces that will carry Zimmerit, it's not that bad that they are not surfaced. But this armor plate right here that you can see here behind the track links, this has texture on it. And then you have to add Zimmerit over the top. This armor plate up top has texture on it. You have to apply Zimmerit onto it. This one doesn't have texture on it. This one right here doesn't. So it has nothing to do with, yeah, you have to add Zimmerit to it. It doesn't. It's just random. And I hate randomness. I hate it. But yeah, if you want to go the extra mile and you want to texture this up, I can recommend it. I think it's going to be a nice Panzer IV that you can get. Nice figures, nice extras. The price is perfectly fine at 40 euros. But be aware that you need to add Zim. There has not been, or there was never, an age early or mid without Zim. So you have to add Zimmerit to this. Without Zim, you're building something historically inaccurate. So just be mindful of this. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope I'll see you guys soon. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy. May the force be with you. And until next time, bye for now.